What's going on, guys?
How you doing, Justin? Hey, so last week heading into Tampa, did you feel something different in the locker room preparation-wise? Because some things seemed a little flat going into Indianapolis. Did you feel a different focus or something in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, always when you're coming off of a loss, there's going to be a higher level of intensity that following week to make sure you don't have two losses in a row. And it also helps that we're going against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Also a little bit of a rematch of the Super Bowl from a couple years ago. So those feelings are all mixed together to really make a really fiery week of practice. We had something to go out to prove that week, and guys weren't lacking for motivation.
What do you know about Raider Week? You're new to the Chiefs, but it's an important week for most Chiefs fans.
So I've been keeping up. I know that we have the Chiefs flag underneath the Vegas Stadium. Remember that being built? I know that this rivalry goes back decades. It's been back and forth, and I know that for the city of Kansas City and also Oakland, Las Vegas, wherever the Raiders have been the last couple of the years, it means a lot to both organizations. So I expect it to be a hard-nosed game. Both sides come with a lot of fire and energy, and that'll be competitive.
Davante Adams is one of those rare wide receivers who can take over a game. On the back end of coverage, what are some of the things you need to be aware of, you and Wong, and even some of the other defensive backs?
Yeah, definitely a game record type of player. Need to know where he is at all times, whether he's lined up at 1, lined up at 2, lined up in the backfield, wherever he is. Every single play, we need to ID where he's at to make sure we're aware.
Waller's had some big games and maybe not as much this year, but what's the challenge like with a guy of his size coming through?
Yeah, has all the attributes of a tight end that any team in the league would love to have. Athletic, really plays more like a wide receiver, can make all the catches, runs vertical routes, runs short routes. They feature him in the red zone and in their short yardage, so he's a go-to target for Derek Carr, always been a safety net for him. The Oakland Raiders are not lacking in talent. I think that they're just piecing themselves together, and this is a big week for them too, so we're expecting their best shot.
You have a big event coming up for your foundation here this week. Tell us about that and how excited you are to give back to Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Westin downtown. It's going to be the inaugural fundraising event for the JRE Foundation. It's going to be raising money for kids and schools in Kansas City to help build tech zones, have a nutritional aspect, after-school snacks to help them fuel themselves, and also some of the projects that we're going to be doing in Kansas City to help equip them with tools to help them for a better tomorrow. So really looking forward to building some of these tech zones so that after school kids have a place, essentials, printers, internet, computers, things that they need to help them complete their schoolwork, to help them be successful. So that fundraiser will be tomorrow. Extremely excited about it. I want to encourage everyone out there to come see me and my teammates who will be celebrity waiters for you guys.
Justin, I seem to remember that Tyron was interested in the tech zone stuff. Is that something you guys ever talked about, or what to do with your foundation?
Yeah, we never talked about it personally, but we both are from Louisiana, and Louisiana isn't exactly the most techie state in the country. I know whenever I was coming out and I ended up going to California, honestly, I had a feeling of being behind and a little bit deficient when it came to computer skills and things like that. I went to a school in Silicon Valley, so they caught me up, but I was only able to catch up because I had the access to do so. So one of the reasons it's personal to me is to push that forward and find the next kids like me that might have a talent in the field but just don't have the access to it, and try and remove those hurdles for them.
When just league-wide, I know it's early, we're not halfway through the season yet either, but a lot of people were talking about last night's game was kind of a tough watch. I'm sure the defensive guys loved watching that game, but
Yeah.
Are we seeing defenses kind of catching up, or where are we in that cycle of offensive versus defense in the NFL?
Yeah, part of it I think that is so many of the high caliber quarterbacks are on new teams. There's been a lot of shuffling, head coaching wise, offensive coordinator wise, quarterback wise, that so much of having a good offense is having chemistry, things you built up over years. So I know in Denver and Indianapolis, they both are featuring new quarterbacks. And really just still trying to figure out their systems. Indianapolis was missing Jonathan Taylor, so that's a tough beat for them. So defenses have been very tough and physical this year. But it's always, a back and forth scale. At some points in the season, the defense is going to take over. At some points, the offense is really going to be electric and show their firepower too.
Chris Conley spent a year with you down in Houston last season. Did you get to know Chris much?
Yeah, I know Chris. He's a very smart guy, intelligent, humble, reliable possession receiver. So he's going to bring some things that can help us.
I realize that you guys play games any day of the week, but does Monday Night Football still have that kind of juice to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every game, especially divisional games, those are always going to mean a lot to us. We're always going to put our best foot forward. But when you're the only game on TV, you can't beat that.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Appreciate you guys.